What about the 14th Amendment, and does that pertain to African Americans? This question has come up, so I'm going to give my opinion. Okay. So, Trump did sign an executive order trying to reshape the 14th Amendment. And according to what I've read, it's very specific. I grabbed this directly from AP. So go ahead and read. This is how he's trying to reshape the 14th Amendment. How does this pertain to African Americans? It does not. Why doesn't it pertain to African Americans? I can tell you why. First, African Americans were here legally. Clock it. The very first enslaved African to come here was here legally. Clock it. Number two, we were here permanently. Clock it. And number three, we can prove that at least one of our fathers was also a U.S. citizen and legally permanent here. Clock it. This is why we've never been able to be forced out of this country before. It was always by request that we leave, never by force that we leave. Ever since, we've been free. Many of us have indigenous blood in our background, which can be proven because DNA is crazy, right? Many of us have at least 20% or less European. And we know how that got there, don't we? And of course, our mothers were here legally. Clock it. This is exactly why there is nothing they can do, in my opinion. They never have been able to do it. Because they know, as well as we know, that we are citizens of this land permanently and forever, unless we ourselves revoke our own citizenship. We were never immigrants. Never. And the government knows this. We were here at the foundation of the country. This country was not founded without us. Clock it. Now, is that 14th Amendment executive order thing getting challenged? Yes, it's getting challenged, and more than likely nothing will happen because that one's going to be a hard one. So relax for a second about that one. That one's definitely getting challenged. There are others that you might want to be concerned about. Such as the Affordable Care Act. Now that one, the reason is because he's trying to, get rid of it. Here's the thing. The reason why you might want to be concerned about that particular one is because a whole lot of Congress wants that gone too. Yeah. So yeah. That would leave millions of Americans without health care coverage, without something to replace it. Okay? So, yeah, that's the one that's the one to me anyway. Now, as far as people saying executive orders aren't laws, no, they are not laws, but they are enforced as laws. So they perform as laws. Yes, they are enforced. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that can stop them from being enforced is if it's overturned or blocked by Congress or the Supreme Court, or the president himself can end it. Okay? The president himself, he can just say, no, never mind on that one. Okay? But yeah, so just because it isn't quote unquote legislative law, meaning formed by Congress, does not mean that um it doesn't work, it doesn't function as a law. Yes, it does. It does. Which is why it has to be legally challenged. Okay? So to shrug at executive orders, mm, mm-mm. Many of them have to go into effect immediately. Some of them don't. Some of them must be challenged. But yeah, the basic thing is, yeah, once it's signed, if it can't if it doesn't have to be challenged, or if it's something like all federal workers go home, or if it's something that can be done immediately, oh yeah, it's being done immediately, and it functions as law. Yeah, it functions as law. And so that's that. So for everybody coming to the comments, running to my comments, well, it's not law, they have to pass legislation. Go read. It functions as a law until a body of people stop it, until Congress stops it or judges stop it. It functions as law, or it's challenged. Okay, and that the challenge is that's they're going to take it to the courts. Okay, all right. Most everything he did, I'm not sure but you can find it out. It's online. It's free. Um, a lot of stuff he signed goes into effect immediately. I can't say which ones go into effect immediately, but the 14th Amendment thing is not going into effect immediately. Why? Because that's an amendment. But a lot of other things go into effect functioning as law immediately. Okay? And you just have to wait on them to be overturned or blocked. Period.